We have the very latest advisory for you from the National Hurricane Center. Hello, everyone. I'm CNN meteorologist Kara McGinnis. This is anything but a typical looking tropical storm. Here are the reasons why. Take a look at this. Right now, wind supporting this at 45 miles an hour. It's traveling to the north at about 14 miles an hour. But as it edges its way closer to the Gulf Coast, that northern edge along coastal sections of Louisiana into Mississippi, Alabama, and portions of Florida, this is where we're expecting the heaviest precipitation and landfall going into Sunday. But don't focus on where the landfall is going to be, because as I mentioned, this is not a typical tropical storm because it does not have a clearly defined eye. Now, it will gather some strength over the next several days, but once it makes its way onshore, it's going to wring itself out across the southeast, move across the central Mississippi River Valley as a weaker system. But what can we expect in its wake? All right, for New Orleans, we know it's low-lying area, but to the east of this, we could see as much as 12 inches of rainfall, but typically speaking, 4 to 6 inches certainly possible across this area. Storm surge, 2 to 4 feet for most of these areas. And we're looking at lots of wind damage that could be associated with this as well. Boats could be pulled off of moorings. There is a mandatory evacuation in for Grand Isle, Louisiana. Also, there is a state of emergency in Louisiana. So you need to stay on top of all the advisories, all the alerts, all the flash flood watches and warnings that are expected to take place here as we look at deteriorating weather conditions going into Saturday evening, but really beginning to feel the effects of Tropical Storm Cristobal going into Sunday. We'll have more. Stay safe.
It's Friday, everyone, and the weekend is upon us. You'll want to plan ahead for the potential for some stronger thunderstorms to develop across Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, as well as Michigan. We also have a marginal risk of severe storms today in and around the mid-Atlantic regions, and also watching for the potential of a few hit-or-miss thunderstorms into Montana. Now, here's the specifics from the Storm Prediction Center. That shading of yellow, that's a slight risk, or a level 2 of 5. Including Springfield, Missouri, Memphis, Little Rock, and just outside of the Shreveport region. Damaging winds and large hail possible. You can see on our high-resolution forecast radar imagery that between about 3 to 7 p.m. this evening, that's when we get that peak daytime heating. We can see some of those thunderstorms fire up. We're also monitoring Central America for the Tropical Depression Cristobal we've been mentioning lately. This, of course, has brought excessive rainfall and flooding to this region. Now, it is eventually going to re-emerge across the warmer ocean waters of the Gulf of Mexico. The official forecast track and intensity from the National Hurricane Center does indicate this storm re-strengthening back into a tropical storm. Of course, as is with any of these storm systems that are slow moving like this, there are model discrepancies that we monitor, one being the American and one being the European. You can see one is further west, the other is further east, and of course a discrepancy between the rainfall totals as well. Bottom line here, if you're anywhere along the Gulf Coast, you'll want to monitor these weather forecasts going forward over the next several days, because there is a looming threat of a potential tropical storm anywhere from Texas to Louisiana and into the panhandle of Florida. Now, here's a look at your temperatures for today. 85 for the nation's capital, 89 near Detroit, 86 in Atlanta, the Big Apple, a comfortable 78. I'm CNN meteorologist Derek Van Dam. Have a great weekend, everyone.